Houston, say again, please. Houston, we've had a problem. We've had a main B plus undervolt. Roger, main B undervolt. Okay, stand by at 13, we're looking.
Hello guys and welcome to this episode of Rendezvous. We have a little bit of technical issues, problems today with some sound, but we hope to get the best out of it today. And we have again today Brad Shepard with us, we have Neville Thompson with us, we have Martine Graney with us, we have Coach Billy Carson with us, we have Rami Bar Ilan with us. Rami is a little bit out on the sideline because of some audio problems, but we hope to have him back in a little moment. Today's topic is the Rocknest Gigapan image that is produced by Neville Thompson, and I have asked my fellow admins here to make a Gigapan snapshot of an anomaly they could find in the Rocknest Gigapan. So that's what we are gonna do today. Welcome, guys. You ready?
Hello.
The first images that is gonna be presented today is pointed out by Neville, and we are gonna leave a link on Facebook and in the YouTube video description to where you can find the snapshot link. The snapshot links is a direct link to that anomaly pointed out, so you won't have to search through the whole Gigapans to find it. The first one here is presented by Neville. Neville, what will you say about this you have found here in the Rocknest?
Right. What I think it looks like the top of a column. You know, like the ancient columns you used to get in Egypt and Rome and things like that. Because you can see like a round shape in the side of it. It looks as if something could have slotted in there, you know. And plus down the right hand side of it, it looks as if there's something actually coming off it, like a piece of cloth or something. You can see it draped down the right hand side, you know. I actually found another one similar to this. This was on a OPI image. You can see it at the bottom there on on the left hand side. You can see like the base, and then you can't really see it very clear there, but you can see like a round circle on the side. Now I thought it looked the same as the top one, you know, but on the OPI one you can actually see something on the top of it, you know. I mean, I wish you could zoom right in, because it actually looks like a bust of somebody, you know, like the head and shoulders, because you can actually see where the hair comes down and it goes round the ear and down the back, and they've got like a hat on as well, you know. So sorry, I actually changed. I put it on top of. I took the image of the figure off the OPI image and put it on the one that we are talking about now, just to see if it would match, you know. And it does really. It looks about the same. But that's what I think it could have been, like the top of a column, you know. I've actually seen others further along on the Rocknest pan, but they aren't sticking out as far as that. You can see the top of them, you know, like the curved top. So really, what I was thinking, are these lined up along the side of a road, you know, of an ancient road, that could have been there, you know, because I've actually found a road that leads all the way. The rovers actually following the road, you know.
I remember that.
So maybe they've maybe found the road there and they're following the road to whereabouts they are going, you know. It could be. it's only my guess, you know.
Brad?
Okay.
Brad, what's your thought on that one? Brad, Colin, Chef?
Yes, it does look exactly like that. It looks. Yes, I'm here. I'm here. It looks just like what Neville is talking about. I can see where the hole is sticking out of the structure, and it looks like something, you know, just like you said, it's something that you slide through there, you know, perhaps, you know, hold something, and it does look like the top of a structure, you know. It looks sort of like that. I'm not sure about, you know, what the shadows and everything. That seems to be always something that we can look at to say, I don't know, you know. But
Yeah.
it does look exactly like that.
Martine?
Yes,
I like the little statue.
fantastic anomaly, this one. When I first saw it, I thought, what, you know, are we looking at something metallic? But I'm beginning to wonder, actually, if it's like the top of a fountain head, and that the circular relief on the top may have been a base for, like Neville says, for a statue or a figurine. I agree. It could also be like the cornice of a colonnade column that you see in the front of a lot of the ancient Greek buildings, and the columns often lined roads and were used as separations between buildings and gardens, and quite amazing. But going back to the fountain idea, I think I kept coming back to that because of the hole on the side, and I could see that as being part of the fountain piece, and with the hole being the outlet for the water. Whatever it is, it's amazing, and it's definitely been crafted or molded.
Coach Billy Carson?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, were you finished, Martina?
Yes, I was.
Yes. Billy?
Can you see me?
Yes, we see you.
Okay,
just fine.
fantastic. Yeah, I'm really astounded by this piece because I've seen it before in the past. I saw it probably about a year or so ago, and I actually thought it was a piece of machinery all this time. I couldn't make out exactly what it was until Neville brought forward his concept about what he thinks it is, and that's pretty much what now. I went to look up, I Googled some columns and fountainheads, and this pretty much is very close to what it could possibly be. I mean, it really could be that. And I've seen a couple of these on the planet now in different areas. So whatever it is, it's a standard fixture, something that they used all the time. And it's a pretty exciting piece because, to me, there's no way that this could be a rock. And especially when you find more than one of something that looks virtually identical. It obviously was something that has been used in part of some type of a structure or some type of a consistent archaeological, makeup around the planet. I mean, this is an incredible discovery because it proves unequivocally that this is definitely not a rock. It's something you see consistently, and it's something they probably use in a construction around the planet. So I'm excited about it because now I really think it's not machinery. I think it's more of a decor than anything else.
It's a great one. Neville, can I ask you, have you any idea of the size of it?
The size of it, it's round about, the top of it's round about 1 meter wide, and the bit where it goes down, that's roughly about 3/4 of a meter, you know. Because I brought up the scale on it, where I can pull over like a meter grid, you know, and it just about fills a meter grid, you know. So that's about the size of it.
My first thought on that object when I saw it the first time was, because I've been doing a lot of sailing when I was younger, and I remember, I don't know the word for that object in English, but you know, the one that when you are on a big ferry or something, you have this round machinery that take up the chain with the anchor.
Oh, right, yeah.
And that reminded me exactly like that, and that round hole could be the one where you attach the end of the chain to. That was my first thought on that, and will still be in my mind for a long time still.
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
Yeah.
Really? You have sent us a picture also from the Rocknest field side?
Yes.
You have sent out a snapshot link, and this is the image you pointed out. Can you tell us what are you seeing in this image?
Okay, from my perspective, it appears to be the side of a wall, and on this wall appear to be two huge carvings. One to the left, on the left circle, to me appears to be a side profile of a hen or a chicken or a rooster. You can clearly see a defined eye, the beak, and the shape of the head, you know, facing to the left, the side profile. In the middle, I couldn't make out, really, in between the two circles, there's something there kind of ambiguous. To me, almost it looks like a face, but it was a little too ambiguous for me to really circle it and make it out. I couldn't enhance it any better, so I kind of left it alone. But it appears to be two eyes, a nose, and a mouth between the two circles, to the top of the wall. But then to the far right appears to be a camel's head. I said giraffe earlier, but I meant to say camel, facing to the right, side profile. And you can, if you look close enough, you know, if you really zoom in, obviously we can't make it bigger here, but you can actually begin to see some of the pattern on the, you know, on the actual, what would be, I guess, considered the skin or the fur or whatever, but they did a lot of detail on this artwork. And what I'm noticing, the more I look around on Mars, the more anomalies I discover that appear to be carvings. They are very, very into making multiple faces or multiple body parts on objects. They would carve something. I saw one that Rami put up a couple of days ago. It was a head with 3 faces on it. You know, so they're very much into that. If you look at the hillside or the edge of a cliff, they will put some type of a head or some type of a, you know, carving of an object, but they would turn that one carving on multiple sides. It will be multifaceted. It will have faces on both sides or different body parts on one object. It's a very strange thing. I don't know. This is some kind of weird art. I've seen some crazy stuff, but there's always appears to be, if you see one carving, it should be probably very close, another one somewhere very close. So that's what I take it to be. As a wall with carvings on it, very detailed artwork.
Brett, you're first with your thoughts.
Yes, I see the same types of things in all of the space images. It looks to me like almost embedded or sculptured. They always make it look like part of the topography, and you know, it's very difficult to say whether that's, you know, actually there, ancient, whether it's some kind of digital computerized trick when they reduce the image or something. But it really seems what we're looking at is really there on the image, you know. So to me, I think it's significant, and it does look like a camel and a chicken to me as well, you know. And I see the face in the middle very well, and it's very, very distinguishable to me. And you see these, you know, almost like an ABBA video where you've got the face profile and then the other face coming behind it sometimes, you know. And
yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, you know, where you have these multiple faces and then you look down and there's a face underneath his chin or something, you know. And you know, I see those all the time on the lunar images, and I think it's something that's worth decoding. I really do.
Neville, what's your thought on it?
Yeah, it does look like a wall. I've actually found walls myself, but what I think to do is they actually build long walls to walk to use the top of them, and then along the sides they carve faces, figures, and everything along the sides of them, you know. And then sometimes on the front of them, where it ends, they put a big face or they put a big statue of something, you know. But I found loads of them. There was one I found in one of the spirit pictures with a big carving of a like a lion's face. But they build the wall, then on top of the wall they also put statues and things like that. Now that's what I think this could be. It could be a wall that's fallen over and it's lying on its side. That's why you can't see them properly. They look as if they're lying on the side, you know, as if the wall's fallen backwards, you know. That's the way that I see it. So I think you could be right there, Coach, about that. Yeah.
Martina, have you any thoughts on this one?
Yes, I mean, I agree that there are definitely lots of examples where we're seeing these sort of carved shapes in the rock outcrop. I've seen several examples of them, but when I see them, it just reminds me that we've done it so much here. I mean, you know, I think of forgive me because I don't know the area, but the famous rock carvings of the president's heads, for instance, you know, in the cliff faces. We've done it all through the centuries and sort of indicated animals and what could be found in that area. Look at the Nazca Plains in Peru, you know, all the figures of the animals and the creatures that can only be seen from kilometers up in the air. It's almost as if it's done in homage to whatever the life species were at that time. I mean, it's quite wonderful, and it always impresses me when we do see these things. Sometimes the exquisite artwork that comes with it. So, yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting.
It's a great one.
Yeah.
Yes. When I was looking at it the first time, I had to look at it a few times before I actually saw what Billy presented it as. Sometimes it's not always as easy, but when Billy told me what he saw, I could see that right away. So I think what I'm gonna do after this, I'm gonna point it out with some colors later to make it even more clear for those who might not see it right away and want to see what we are seeing. So we're gonna make it easier for them, and we're gonna put it in the Photoshop here and gonna make a little work on it so we can point it out. It's a great one, Billy. It's a great one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go on to the next one here. This is Martine. Martine, tell us what you see.
Well, when I first saw this, when Curiosity went into Rocknest, I saw it immediately, like I think so many other people do. My first thought, well, this has got to be a statue, a head. It looks like, initially I thought it looked very rock-like, but now I've sort of processed it and looked more closely at it. It's not so much the head that intrigues me, it's what's going on to the left of it, you know, within the neck and the sort of torso region. When I worked at bringing out some of the detail on the head, you can see, we'll start with the head first, you can see marks and lines on the head which anatomically seem to indicate sort of veins or, you know, arteries running up the side of the head. But then moving on down to the neck region, we've got this weird sort of detail going on there. I rule out completely this is not JPEG artifact. But there's a lot of sort of crisscross meshing going on there and some circular patterns. So I thought, well, this can't be, first of all, I thought, well, is this the skeletal remains that NASA has tried to blur out? Definitely different from the rest, the surrounding surface of the area. It's very... I looked again at it in a different way, and I wondered if this was a petrified animal, and that all that sort of detailed, ornate decoration going on there, could it have been some kind of garb that the animal was wearing? Was it, you know, some kind of ceremonial thing, like we do with our horses, you know, on parade or display? But to me, it looks like a sheep's head. A lot of people said a horse's head, but I think it's probably smaller than a horse anyway, but the head is more sheep-like.
Brett?
Yes, it does. It looks to me like a carousel animal looks, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's very ornate. And, you know, it's laying on its side. Obviously, if it was petrified, it's long since dead. You know, it's a wonderful object to see in the imagery, and you know, I would look around that area to see if there's some other parts of a carousel. These things tend to be themed, you know, so when you look around, you can sometimes find similar objects and similar types of animals. I love it.
Neville?
Yeah, I think it does. It looks like a head of something. I found similar ones myself, but the first time I've seen that, like, and I thought, bloody hell, it does, like, because you can actually see things coming out the side of it, you know. You can see the eye hole, you can see where the nose is, and the top lip and the bottom jaw. I'm just wondering about the side, you know, because the side's got a crazy pattern on the side of it, you know. But it really does, like, I was amazed when I seen it. It's been out, what, nearly two years. It's the first time I've seen it. It's very good, like. I think it looks more like sheep-like than anything else.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Coach, Billy, Carson?
Yeah, this is an amazing piece. The more, you know, I have my trusty Carson magnifying glass. You have, you know, shameless plug. You can get these at Walgreens. But anyway,
we sell them with logos on soon.
Yes,
sorry.
absolutely.
Keep on.
So I'm taking a very good look at it through the magnifying glass, and I mean, it is very ornate. I didn't know how ornate it was until it was brought up in this, you know, this panel discussion. But you can clearly see it almost looks just like a carousel animal that you would get on at a fair. I mean, it's absolutely amazing that the side of this what looks like a sheep has got all these little intricate designs on it. So I don't think it was an actual living thing. To me, it looks like a completely sculpted object that was very ornate, and most likely, I mean, in my opinion, could be, everybody's got to be entertained some type of way. This could have been an entertainment piece or a centerpiece or a worship piece, but it definitely, to me, that's a phenomenal piece. It's amazing.
It's a great one. I've been pointing that one out also for a little while ago, and I'm very, very fascinated. I agree with it in being some sort of animal head on. However, if it's a sheep or a horse or a cow, that's all about the individual perspective of it. But the main thing is, we all agree, most of us who are looking at it, that this is an animal head. So I think it's an awesome one. Thank you, Martine, for posting that one. And we have one more here. We are going down on Facebook. This is my snapshot. This is I like this one because I see a square hole in the right side of that rock with something attached to it on the side, and above that square hole is another hole which has a half round top and a straight bottom line. It looks to me very artificial created, and it looks like metal. If you look at the square hole on the left side, if you go down to the left, it looks like there is a triangular shape pushed up from the underneath with a half round hole that reminds me of some kind of wheel, what you call it in English, wheel case from a vehicle or something. I think this is a great one, and I have no idea what it is, so I am waiting to hear what you guys have to say about this one. Brett, would you be the first?
Yeah, sure. It looks to me like the backside of a sculpture or a piece that you would mount, and the front part looks like a face that's like a very detailed face with an eye and a nose and a mouth that's open, and the other rock looks like a big sculpture of a head, you know. But they almost look like pieces that were on the side of a wall or a building or something, you know. And the holes look like it's where they attached to some kind of concrete or some kind of granite or something like that.
Neville?
Actually, when I first saw it, it looked like a PC to me, the front of a PC, because you can see like a square hole in the front of it, you know, where you can actually slot like something in. I don't know whether it could have been a disc or anything, but it looks as if something could slot in there, you know. And down the front of it, you've got like a V shape, you know. I've actually had a PC that looked exactly the same as that years ago, but that's what I think it looked like. It looks like something you could actually put something inside, you know. I don't know whether that's a round hole at the top or it could be just a shadow of something that's behind it. But it looks man-made, you know. It could be attached to that other bit that's in the back, that's behind it. Difficult to tell with the shadows and that, you know. Just trying to work out how it would look in 3D, but that's what I think it could. It's a square box of some sort, you know. I haven't checked the size of it yet, like, but yeah, it's certainly man-made. Okay.
Yeah, Martina.
Oh, I agree with Nev. It's definitely man-made. I mean, it's so beautifully smooth that it looks as if it's been carved. You know, the quality of the surface of it. It looks like what we see on statues. The hole in the front, that aperture is really intriguing, and there's no way that was formed by erosion. That has been cut out and shaped, and that strange sort of V shape that looks almost like strapping coming down into the hole. I can't even begin to imagine what that is, unless it's some kind of decoration. The rest of the rocks, I have a feeling they're all part of one object, and that they're all completely broken up.
I think you're right.
That one area, but I really can't even begin to imagine what it might have looked like originally, but it's definitely a man-made thing.
Thank you.
Or Martian.
Billy Carson?
Yeah, this is a good one. I see a little bit of what Brett is talking about. It appears to be a face towards the side with the triangle, and the back appears to be where you would mount it to something. It's kind of an ornate object, but I could also see from Nev's point of view how it appears to be a computer monitor or a piece of a PC. The thing that I'm starting to learn about these Martian anomalies is that everything that they created, or almost everything that they've created, they always make it look like a face of either an animal or a person. So it could be a computer screen that's made to look like a face, or it could be a wall-mountable, ornate object for decoration. But they love faces. I mean, to the point of it appears to be an obsession. What I do now is when I drive around just through my city and other places, I'm looking everywhere I possibly can to see how many things we create faces out of for animals and for humans. We do it, but not nearly as much as we've seen it on Mars. And we're looking at a desolated planet with everything scattered about into rubble, and we're still picking out an enormous amount of objects that are sculpted. I've even seen machinery that has at the end of it, faces of animals and things like that. So this is something that they were definitely obsessed with. This is a great piece because, again, to me, it proves that this is not a rock, and it's definitely made by intelligent beings with hands that can mold and sculpt.
Yes, I think you are right. I think all of you have come with some very good points on these pictures and the other pictures here. We have one more picture that belongs to Rami. Rami was here when we began, and we had some audio troubles with him and his computer. I think there was a bad connection, and unfortunately Rami is not here right now, but we're gonna take a look at his picture anyway. This is the picture that Rami sent us, and this is I think it's an awesome one. Brett, you are our number one today. You are gonna start on that one.
Yeah. Rami explained this a little bit earlier. He suggested that it was some man-made type of block structures, and I agree with that. It looks very carved out. It looks like they used machinery, to carve these stones. That it doesn't look like it was carved by nature. But I look at some things like Finian's Cave or something like that on Earth, and sometimes nature does carve these things out, but that looks very straight, like it was cut. It looks very artificial, artificially cut.
Neville, what's your thought on it?
Yeah, I think it's. Hello, can you hear us?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, right. Yeah, I think it's actually carved, the block. It's carved out of a bigger block, but on top of it, I posted an image in the family group. I don't know whether you can just scroll down and if a closer shot of the little black thing that's on the top of it, it looks like some little kind of machine or something, It's I found it myself actually when it first came out, but it's really strange, It's the whole thing is it's about a meter in length, the whole thing. So if that's a meter in length, the thing that's on top of it probably be about maybe a quarter of a meter or something in size. But you can see this. It does look like a wall. and it could be connected to that other block that's actually behind it as well. There's another bigger block that you can see like lying on its side. I think they could have been connected at one time, but the whole place, Rocknest, it's really, there's loads of structures in that there that's being hidden. The main one is it's in the center of the Rocknest. It's like a building, you know. But it's like everything's been lying about for thousands of years and it's been covered over and stuff like that. But this is definitely a part of something that's actually fallen over or something. You can actually see on the right hand side there's another block that's pointing to the right. You can see that it's carved with, I don't know, it looks like it could be carved with figures or things like that. I cannot see close enough to make it out, but it's a very good find, like.
It is. Martina?
Yes, it certainly looks like something from a building, and Never's right, around that area there are lots of blocks like that. They're not just haphazard lumps of rock that have fallen out of the rock outcrop. There is that very sharp angle on the face, the part that faces us, almost as if another block slotted into it, maybe that piece that Never's mentioned behind it. It's definitely part of a larger structure. The top of it, I don't know if my screen is doing it justice, is that a ridge across there, or is that another sort of level on the top of it?
It's another level. Yeah.
It's another level, yeah. Yeah. Maybe it was the base, the pedestal that went underneath your column, Neville.
Maybe it could have been, you never know.
You never know.
It's a good one. Billy, Carson, what's your thought on this?
This is a really amazing piece because I took some time to look at it through the magnifying glass, and I was able to notice, just since we've been looking at this here, that in the far background, not too far, but in the background, there's a structure on the ground. And if you were to take this big block of that Rami found and lift it up and put it in there, it would fit together like a puzzle. It literally will fit right inside of that piece in the background, which is absolutely amazing to me. So it might somehow be a part of a structure where there were consistent amounts of the same type of blocks that fitted together, sort of like you know, some of the ancient cities in Peru, we found they've documented them on TV, found multiple blocks of andesite that fit together. Like Pumapunku, for example. You know, Pumapunku, you have blocks, giant blocks that fit together like a puzzle. And these two pieces look like they definitely would fit together. The other object sitting to the right that Neville pointed out, it definitely is carved with some objects. I can't wait to almost look at this now when we get off this broadcast, because I want to pull it up and zoom into it, because Rami did all the hard work for me. He already cleaned it up. So all I have to do is zoom in and look at it, but I can definitely clearly see some carved structures or carved engravings on this rock or whatever it is. So I can't wait to look at it. But this is a great find because to me it's definitely a created block or a carved block, and the back piece, it would, if you took it and sit it on top of that back piece in the background, it would seem like it would lock together.
I've just posted a close up of that block on the family side.
Thank you.
As you can see on our screen, we just lost Brett, just as we were going to show his picture, and we would have Brett to tell us about his picture first, but we are gonna go on, and I'm gonna try to catch up on Brett later and edit it into this little talk here, but let's find the picture Brett sent us. This is the picture. It's a little bit blurry, and I might gonna press this one here to find the snapshot. Let's see if I can get it out in a little distance. This is the one we are looking at. That's a little bit better there. Neville, what's your thought on that object?
Yeah, it actually does look like a crocodile, like a small. I'm not saying it is, but it looks like a crocodile. You can see like the snout part. I mean, it's very blurred, like, but it does. It actually, it could be. It could be like a turtle, you know, because you can see where the head is. Then lower down, below it, you can see like a circular, as if from one side to the other, as if it's round, you know. I think it could be either a carving of one, or it's gone, or part of a bigger structure that's buried, you know. It could be. It's a very blurred image, so I think I'll try and make that clearer after this.
I know that Brad described it before as what he saw was looking like a lizard.
Yeah.
That was his word before he died out of our Skype conversation. Rest in peace, Brad. We hope you will come back. Martine, what's your thought on Brad's object?
Well, I agree that it does. The circular shape on the back looks like the shell of a turtle. I think there are some long-nosed turtles as well. It's a very pale object, like so many of these things are that seem to emerge from the rocks. I'm also noticing a lot going around that area. Actually, there's very strange anomalies both to the left and the right of this object in the middle. But no, it's a very cute little thing, whatever it is.
Billy, what's your thought on this?
Yeah, the second I saw it, to me it looked like a lizard or some type of a reptile. It does, I mean, when you look at it even through the magnifying glass, you can clearly see it has a head with an eye, a snout or nose or whatever. It's got a neck, and I can see 2 feet in the front, 2 legs and feet in the front. So it's very interesting that I just don't see how a rock can shape itself like this by nature. I just don't see this, how this could happen. I think this is either a carved object or a biological object. I don't think it could be just from rain or from natural occurrences that it can form to this shape. A lot of these, a lot of these objects that we find on Mars that appear to be carvings or whatever, they always have bilateral symmetry, which means you can split them in half and get an identical copy on the other side. And it's very difficult to just create that by accident in nature. There's so many anomalies in this image here that if you actually take a really good look at this, I can't wait to dig into this one because it's actually a macabre scene. It's really very weird anomalies in this one all around. If you really let your eyes settle into it, and this isn't even cleaned up yet, there's some amazing, amazing things in this little tiny area that tell me that there's more going on. I mean, for these anomalies, that one you're going over right there is amazing. I mean, for these anomalies to be here in this one small area of this cliff, you would have to win the lottery every single day for the rest of your life before this can be an accident, a coincidence. There's too many things in this one area here. And, the lizard being the center or the centerpiece of it all, but there's so much more going around this area.
It's a great one. Thank you, Billy. I think I see what Brad means when he said he saw something that looks like a lizard. And he might be right, I don't know. I'm not gonna make any statement of what it is. We can only tell what we think this looks like, and I am with Brett on this one, it looks like some kind of animal, lizard head coming up from a hole or something. So it's a great one, it's a great one. I'm just gonna go back to us here. So far so good. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pictures we went through today. This was a great little talk we had today here also. Does any one of you have something you want to add to the conversation?
I would like to tell everybody that I've got quite a few comments of how they feel we've come together and united, and you know, that's the name, United Family of Anomaly Hunters. And that they thought that we really are making a change, making a difference. So I just wanted to put that out there. So people are very excited about what we're doing and what we've got going on. There's a lot of great comments on the mobile app so far. It's only version 1. It'll only get better. But a lot of positive comments. People are really amazed at what they're seeing. They're saying that this is changing their life, and that you know, they now believe there's life on other planets, and this, you know, for some people, they want to investigate, research more, which is really what we want. We want people to research what we're doing. We want people to get their own opinion, but to realize, you know, to go through and do the process that we're doing and actually figure out, or try to figure out, if there's something more out there than what we're being told. And we're bringing a huge awareness to this topic, and I think we're doing a great job.
I also get a lot of positive feedback from the YouTube channel, and I also made a playlist for the UFAH family with only the video from our little mini conference with all us admins in, and I have so much positive feedback, and I want to say thank you a million times to all those that gives us their support. We love you. We would not be anything without all of you. So that's just great to have all of you here, to have all of you go in and see our video and leave all those positive comments. We love you all. Stay tuned, because more is coming up now. Anybody else want to add something?
No, I'm fine.
No?
I'm okay. No.
Yes. Then I would say stay tuned, because we are coming back next Monday with a new episode of UFAH Rendezvous with some of the admins from EMI, Mars Moon Space, What's Up in the Sky, and you can find all the names and the groups in our UFAH page that you also can find on Facebook. We are going to leave a link to everything we have been talking about today. We are going to leave snapshot links. I'm going to make a little page on the marsmoonspace.com where you can find the video, you can find all the snapshot links, you can find everything that's related to this conversation today on that page, and I will put that link on the YouTube channel within a day, so you can find everything in one place. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for watching and spending time with us. Until we see you again, take care. Bye.
Bye, Thomas.
See you later. Sure.
Bye, everybody.